Hello viewers, welcome to Mathathon. Now for this video, we'll be looking at simultaneous equations using elimination method. Now simultaneous equations are two or more algebraic equations that share common variables and are solved at the same time, that is, simultaneously. Now for the elimination method, it is about eliminating one of the terms containing any of the variables to make the calculations easier. This is done by multiplying or dividing a number by the equation or equations such that the coefficient of any of the variable terms become the same. Then we add or subtract both the equations to eliminate or remove that term from the result. Now, with all that being said, we are going to solve some questions by using the elimination method. Now, firstly, we are going to label our equations. So I'm going to write EQ shortening for equation and call that equation 1. I'm going to also label my second equation as equation 2. Now, remember, we need two of the terms to have the same variables as well as coefficients so we can remove them. So by doing this, we need to multiply. We can multiply equation 2 by 2. So I can have two of them having the same variables as well as coefficients. So when I multiply equation 2, which is 2x plus y equal 5 by 2, I will end up with 4x plus 2y is equal to 10. Now, I'm now going to rewrite my equation 1 and I'm going to replace my equation 2 with this equation. I'm going to call this one equation 3. So I'm going to write it here. So I'm going to end up with 4x plus 2y is equal to 10. So here we're seeing two coefficients being the same as well as the variables. So with them having different signs in front of them, if I'm to add them, I can now remove them because negative 2y plus 2y, that would give me naught. So that can be removed. Alright? So now when I add x and 4x, I will end up with 5x. And when I add 8 and 10, I will now end up with 18. Now my aim is to solve for x. And because x is being multiplied, to get rid of it, to get rid of the 5 beside of it, I'll have to divide on both sides. So when I divide on both sides, I can get rid of this. So now I have x, which is equal to 18 over 5. So being that I now have the value of x, I can put x and I can put it in any of the equations, but I'm going to put it in equation 2 and solve for y. Alright, so now I'm going to rewrite my equation 2, and my equation 2 is 2x plus y is equal to 5. Now, wherever I see x, I'm going to put 18 over 5. But I can solve for y first. So the aim is to get y. Alright? So let's solve for y. So we need to get rid of y. So because 2x is being added, to get rid of it, we'll have to take away on both sides, that is. So I'll have take away 2x over here and I can get rid of this. So now I have y, which is equal to 5 minus 2x. But remember, wherever I see x, I have all right to put 18 over 5. Now, when I multiply 2 times 18 over 5, I will end up with 36 over 5. because I could say 2, and I can change 2 to a fraction as 2 over 1 times 18 over 5. And when I multiply 2 times 18, I will get 36. And I multiply 5 times 1, I will get 5. So that is how I ended up with 36 over 5. Now if I'm to take away here, I can do the rough work over here. So I can see I can also again change this to a fraction. I can say 5 over 1, take away 36 over 5, right? I can use the butterfly method, and you can visit my videos, my previous videos, to watch how do we do the butterfly method. So I can multiply diagonally and then multiply here as well. So I can say 5 times 5 is 25, and I can also say 1 times 36 is 36, and then the denominator would be 5 times 1 is 5. So here I will end up with y being negative 11 over 5. Now I know it's a lot, but it's fun, and with practice you will get better at it. Now let's look at the next example. So once again, I'm going to label my equation, and this is my equation 1, and this is also my equation 2. And remember, my aim is to get coefficients and some variables looking the same, so I can get rid of one to solve for the other. So for this one, I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 2. So when I take equation 1, which is x plus y is equal to 8, and multiply by 2, I will end up with 2x plus 2y is equal to 16. Now when I rewrite, I'm going to rewrite the new, and I'm going to call this one, equation 3. So I'm going to write equation 3 now, which I just got, with my equation 2. So that's 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. And because I have them looking the same here and they're both positives, and I want to get rid of them, I have to minus. Remember, we can either subtract or add the equations. So this will be gone. So I'll be left with 5y, which is equal to 12. And to get y by itself, I'd have to divide by 5 on both sides. Let me do it so you can see the working. So I'll be left with 12 being being 12 over 5. Now we need to solve for y, so we need to solve for x, so we're going to put y in, and we can use either one of the equations, but I'm going to use equation 1, and we're going to solve for x. So wherever we see x or y, wherever we see y in equation 1, we're going to put 12 over 5. But we can solve first to get x by itself. So our aim here, being that y is being added, we have to take away on both sides. So 8 minus y, that will be gone. So now x is equal to 8 minus y. And remember, we already know what y is. So 8 minus 12 over 5. And as I said, you can watch the video to see how we do the butterfly method to add or subtract unlike fractions. But if I'm to put this over 1 and solve it, I would get 28 over 5. I can do it quickly over here as well. So I can say 8 over 1, take away 12 over 5. I can make my little diagonal pairs, which I'm going to multiply. So if I multiply 5 times 8, I would get 40. If I'm to multiply 12 times 1, I would get 12. and 5 times 1 as my denominator is 5. When I take 12 from 40, I would get 28 all over 5. So now I would have my values for x here and my value for y. Let's try another one. So let's say, once again, remember, we are going to label our equations 1 and equation 2. Now remember, we want something to look the same. We want some of the terms, two of the terms to look the same, so we can get rid of them. And in this case, and you can use either one of them, but in this case, I'm going to multiply equation 2 by 2. So when I write equation 2 here, which is 4a minus b is equal to 30 times 2, that will give me 8a minus 2b is equal to 60. And now this is my equation 3. So now I'm going to write my equation 1 with my equation 3, which is 8a minus 2b is equal to 60. And I'm going to add these because here I'm seeing the like terms, and because they have different signs in front of it, I'm going to add these two equations so I can get rid of this. Alright? Now when I add 8a plus 3a, I will get 11a, and when I add 60 plus 17, I will get 77. So to get rid of 11 over here, I divide by both 11 by both sides. So a would be 7. So now we're going to put a, and let's put it in equation 2. As I said, whichever one, it should give you the same. So if you don't get the same for both of them, something is incorrect. Alright, so for equation 2, it's 4a minus b is equal to 30. And we want to get b by itself, so we can get rid of 4a, right? And because 4a here is being, well, it's at the front, right? So to get rid of it, we would have to do what? We'd have to subtract, right? So when we subtract 4a from 4a over here, we're left with b minus b, and we're going to do it on both sides, right? That will be gone. So we'll have minus b is equal to 30 minus 4a. Now remember, our a is 7, so we'll have 30 minus 4 times 7. Alright? So minus b would be equal to 30 minus 28. So minus b will be equal to 2, but we don't want minus b, we want b. So to get rid of the minus sign, we have to divide through by negative 1. So therefore, b would be equal to negative 2. So we have our value for a and we have our value for b. Now, this one says James was given two equations. So he was given 5m minus 2n is equal to 17. And he was also given 3m plus n is equal to 8. And he wants to find the value of m and n, and he wants to use the elimination method. So once again, you're going to label your equations, equation 1, equation 2, and we need to get some variables, some terms, sorry, looking the same. And to do that, we are going to multiply equation 2 by 2. When we multiply 3m plus n is equal to 8 by 2, we would get 6m plus 2n is equal to 16. Now this is my equation 3. Now when I bring together my equation 1, which is 5m minus 2n is equal to 17, and my equation 3, which is 6m plus 2n is equal to 16, they have two different signs here, so I'm going to add them to get rid of these two. 6 plus 5 would be 11m, and 17 plus 16 would be 33. So to get rid of 11, we're going to divide through by both sides. So in this case, m will be equal to 3. Now I'm going to put 3 in equation. So we're going to put 3 in equation 2 and solve for n. So here we're going to say 3 times, sorry, this should be 3. So it should be 3 times 3 plus n is equal to 8. It should be plus n. Alright, so now we'll be left with n is equal to 8 minus 9, which would be equal to negative 1. So we have the value for n, and we also have the value for m. Now, I know this topic is quite lengthy, and it is fun once you get enough practice, but I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.